In this video, I'm going to show you how to make 28 meals with chicken thigh under $20. I always prefer to buy chicken thigh. I think it is much cheaper and more versatile. If you compare the price for 2 kilo of chicken thigh, which costs around 60 crown, 200 crown for 2 kilo of chicken fillet. When I first came to Sweden, the first few years, I was really confused. I do not know why people only buy chicken breast. Swede doesn't like to buy whole chicken or chicken thigh. It's because they don't want to debone it. Also, it is more convenient. It's faster to cook. I refuse to buy chicken breast because I find that, first of all, it is tasteless, and secondly, it's dry. When we buy chicken, nothing goes to waste. That is not an Asian mom thing. I think a lot of people, they would agree with me. With the whole chicken, you can make so many things with that. I'm going to share with you 2 recipes. I use just chicken thigh to make multiple meals. Instead of focusing convenience, I will concentrate on versatility. I have many chicken recipes. I'm going to include them in the video description so you could go check it out. But first, let me show you how to use just 2 chicken thigh to make multiple dishes. Today I'm going to show you one of my favorite recipe, chicken rice. I have 2 chicken thigh, 1 medium onion, some ginger and garlic. So I'll just put them in. And to speed up the cooking, so you don't use a lot of electricity, I'm going to use some hot water. Season the broth with 1 teaspoon of salt. Put the lid on. Set poultry. 15 minutes. If I were to boil the chicken on the stove, then it will take about 30 minutes. By using the Instant Pot, it only takes maximum 15 minutes. This chicken broth is perfect for a seaweed soup. So I'm going to just dehydrate some of the seaweed. Really don't need a lot, just a handful. Soak them in the water for at least half an hour before you use them. I'm preparing a side dish for this chicken rice. Usually people will throw away this, right? So actually you could actually replant them. So what I will probably do is I'm going to cut them until about 1 inch like that. I'm going to soak them in water just for 1 day, and then I'm transferring these on the soil, and after a few days you will see the new leeks coming out from here. This is one way you could save money on buying more leeks. Place them in water. Make sure it just covers the root. I'm going to remove the chicken. Let it sit for a while. I'm going to keep some of the soup for my soup later. I'm going to keep the remaining soup to make my chicken rice. I have some jasmine rice. I'm going to pour inside this into this remaining broth. It should be around the fingertip. And what do I mean by fingertip? That means the water should be at your finger here on top, just 1 finger size, like that. I have to reheat my pot, so what I need to do is just to put the lid on again. For this broth, I'm going to keep just about 100 ml of this, put them in a bowl, and then I'm going to use this broth to make my seaweed soup. Besides seaweed, I also add a few goji berries. So I'm going to boil this for about another 15-20 minutes. Put some of the stock inside my egg. Just pour them over. The soup is ready. On a pan, I'm gonna add some olive oil, ginger, to prevent it from burning. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and put in the lid. Remember the stock that I kept? I'm going to pour the stock in here too. And in 5 minutes, this is ready. Now I want to make a dipping sauce. I have here a little bit of sugar and then some soy sauce. This is light soy sauce. And then I have some sesame seed oil. A little bit of salt. I use some of the stocks from the soup and just give this a stir. I'm going to drizzle some of the seasoning, the dipping sauce, so it adds more flavor. Now the rice is ready. We have the rice, we have the soup, we have the leeks and the chicken and the dipping sauce. Me and LG, we don't really eat a lot, so this meal was stretched all the way to dinner. This meal is perfect for a lazy day. It's not only economical, but it's also quite healthy and easy to make. Don't you agree? This recipe is just for 2%. You can make a bigger portion so that you could eat this for at least 2-3 days. Now, let me show you how to make this delicious curry bun, repurposing my curry dish that I made the day before. I used 2 kilos of chicken thigh to make this one big pot of curry chicken. I am just going to use some of the meat to make this delicious bun, but first let's boil some potato. When you are boiling potato, you don't have to boil like 20 minutes. You could actually turn it off when it has been boiling like this for 10 minutes. And what you do is you turn off the heat now. And then you put the lid on. And you let that sit for another 10 minutes and it should be cooked through. This way you save a lot on electricity. I've covered this for about 20 minutes. Let's check the potato. Wow, look, easily poked through. That means that the potato is done. And you could also see that it is so easy to peel the potato. If you keep the skin on, the nutrition will also stay. I noticed if you boil the potato this way and then you let it soak for at least 10 minutes, you notice there's some water being trapped inside. This way, it makes a potato much easier to peel. See how well this potato is being cooked. Now I could put them in my curry. I noticed there's a lot of ingredients that needed to be used. So for me, I think it is very difficult, especially now everything is so expensive. So instead of buying shallot, I use normal onion instead. I am making this big pot over the weekend so we could eat them for dinner and for lunch the next day. It's always good with leftover because I know I can make this or repurpose this into a second dish. I removed the flesh of the chicken from the curry that I made. I took out some of the curry sauce and pour them into this saucepan. I'm going to add a little bit more curry powder. so that it gives a little more taste of the curry. So when it comes to a boil, I'll put more onion in here and let this simmer for another 5 to 6 minutes. I'm going to put first the potato, followed by the chickpea, chicken, so you want to put this aside and let it cool down completely. This is just a normal bun dough. If you are interested, I have the recipe at the video descriptions. When we were kids, my mom used to buy this kind of bun at the bakery shop, and we often bring this with us for picnics and gatherings. This was like comfort food for me when I was working in Singapore, when I don't have time to eat and I'm on the rush. For an Asian, I think it's very difficult to adapt to the Swedish fika because most of them often eat sweet stuff. So instead of eating the sweet treats, I eat curry bun. I'm sitting in the front of the telly watching horror movie while making this curry bun. Let me tell you a secret. I like to watch horror movie. I know, you guys probably think she believes in ghosts. Of course I do. But anyway, this is really not multitasking for me because I find that when I was sitting in front of the telly, I was actually feeling quite relaxed. Our kitchen in the summer cottage is very small, so I thought before we move, I better make this at home and then just bring it there so that I could have them for lunch. This way, I don't have to cook all the time. I want to be able to relax when I'm at the summer house. I can't help the hard-working Asian blood in me. I better not forget about my bun. It's almost 9 o'clock and you see it's still so bright outside. This is the one that is waiting for the oven. I have one over here which is still baking. Then I have one here that is already been done. Oh, look at that. It burst, but it's okay. I add some egg wash and some black pepper because I don't have sesame seed. So this is the first time I use black pepper. I think it should be good. Oh my god, this smells so good. And the bread, it's so soft. Oh my god, so good. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lunches. And also we have here 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22 lunches altogether. Not that bad, huh? 22 lunches. So I'm really happy because I know I have ahead of many lunch that I can eat. And I happily eat them. Maybe I'll just bring a few for my daughter so she could enjoy it too. I have been frugal all my life. I believe that is the reason how we could afford long holidays during the winter. I am so grateful for my mom who taught me well that saving from early age is really important. But we should also enjoy life once in a while too. Otherwise, there's nothing for us to look forward to. I don't believe that we should save all our saving for our children.
We must teach our kids that life is not a bed of roses. They must thrive.
In Sweden, if you were to go to the supermarket and buy those ready packed lunch, it usually costs between 60 to 70 crown. Now you know why I prefer to buy chicken thigh. It is not only more cheaper, it enables me to in reproducing more food. I would like to know which of these recipes would you try it out. And if you find this video helpful, I would love for you to give a hype and share this to someone who might have some problem with budgeting. If you have been following me, you notice that my recipe is actually quite simple and most of the time quite budget. So I'm going to include the link. Meantime, I'll see you in my next. Bye!